Let's film a video together. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Elena. Hi, nice to meet you. If you're not new here, hello. Welcome back to this channel that is a mess. So, I am a reader, in case you didn't know. I post reading content, I post regular content, I post whatever I really feel like posting because why not? But today, we're gonna do like a reading wrap up over many months. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is from July to now because I have been reading, obviously, but I haven't been able to like talk to you guys about my books, and I just really would like to talk to you about some of the books that I've read because I've read some good ones, I've read some not so good ones. Today, we're gonna be talking about 10 books that I have read over the past couple months that I have yet to talk to you guys about, and I'm excited. Let's talk about these books because some of them are so freaking good. So the first book that I read was Twisted Hate, and this book really shocked me. I did not think I was gonna like this book as much as I did. Basically, it's about Jules and Josh, and they, get this, hate each other. What's on my book? Oh no, there's something on my book. Anyway, this is about Jules and Josh, and basically they hate each other, and they've hated each other for years. She's best friends with his sister, and basically, you know, it's a romance book. So like, they start hanging out more. They end up figuring out that maybe they're not so bad. Maybe like, you know, they like each other. But overall, this book was really good. I don't want to give too much away, but I mean, they hate each other and then they fall in love. I mean, you could gather that. Twisted Hate, romance book, two people. So yeah, I ended up giving this book 4 stars, which I was shocked by because I didn't think I was gonna like their dynamic as much as I ended up liking it, because I loved Twisted Games so much, and I know people like have opinions about the Twisted series, but Twisted Games was amazing. So then to go into another book that was really good, and I gave this one 4 stars, I was like, wow, okay, Anna, go off, or Anna, whatever, however you say your name, go off, queen. So yeah, this book's really good, 4 stars. It is a little bit thicker than most books, but highly recommend, and they are on Kindle Unlimited if you wanted to also read them. This is not an ad. I know they're on Kindle Unlimited too, so you should, I'm just trying to help the masses, you know? And then I went into a book that comes after one of my favorite books I've ever read in my life. I love It Happened One Summer, and I finally, after years, it feels like, read Hook, Line, and Sinker on the beach. And let me tell you, I was disappointed. I'm sorry. I love Tessa Bailey because I love It Happened One Summer way too much. But there was something about this book that was just like, it didn't hit the mark for me. Also, I think part of the reason was because it was written in 3rd person, and I know It Happened One Summer, I'm pretty sure it was also written in 3rd person. But since I haven't read a book that was written in 3rd person in so long, it just took me off guard, and I think that's part of the reason I really didn't enjoy the book as much as I would have. I don't know. But this is about Fox and Hannah, and Hannah has a sister that married a fisherman who is also his best friend, so that's how they know each other. And then she ends up going back to the little seaside town that he lives in and needs a place to stay. And then romance ensued from there. If you're really into music, they're really big into music, so if you like that kind of dynamic, you would like this book. That's not one I'm like super crazy about, but I mean, it was good. I ended up giving it 3 stars. I think it was the 3rd person that really threw me off, but overall, like, the story was cute. It's just not, I don't know, something about it wasn't it. But this book cover, amazing. You don't have to read It Happened One Summer to read this one, but I would recommend it just because they're companion novels, so why not read both? And they're decent. They're not long. Okay, maybe they're almost 400 pages, so 3 stars. The next book that I read was also one I read on the beach. I went to the beach a lot. This is why I didn't get to read as many books as I wanted to, but it's fine. We make do with what we had. This book, The Roughest Draft, I have had on my TBR for over a year, and I just never got to read this book. And I always thought like maybe I wouldn't like it. I thought maybe it wasn't for me. And then I read it and I was like, why did it take me so long to read this book? First of all, adorable. But I was shocked. I thought this book was going to not be my jam. I don't know why, because I love beach read and it reminded me so much of beach read. I'm just sad that it took me so long to read this. But basically it's about two writers that have written together in the past and then they don't talk for a while and then they have to write another one together, and then the forced proximity and everything. It was so freaking good, and it's not a long book. It literally took me like maybe 2 days to read because it was just like bam, bam, bam. Like I ate it up. It reminded me of beach read. It was great. I'm sad that it took me so long to read it. So if you like books about two writers and book people being together, not a great explanation, but just trust me, read this book. Did I tell you what I gave it? I gave it 4 stars. The next book I read, we're changing it up a little. Apparently I haven't read a lot of thrillers, but I read a thriller, The Housemade Secret, and if you know, I gave The Housemaid, the first book, I gave that did I give it 5 stars? 4 or 5 stars, I don't remember. So I was like very excited to read this book, and I love Freida McFadden's books. I need to buy more because I only have a couple and I'm done every single one of them because they take me no time to read. They're always fast paced and they're so good. So this book is about a woman who was actually in the first book, and she's looking for a job, and she finally finds a job where she can keep the house clean and everything at this person's house, housemaid. And then she gets there and she's, you know, not taken back at first, it's all good. And then she realizes that his wife is never around. She's always in a room. And she was told never to go up there because she's very ill and she just shouldn't go in there and disturb her. But if you know anything about the main character of this book, that's not how she operates. So it's so good. It's so fast paced. It's very mysterious. I didn't exactly see what was going to happen. Like, the plot twist got me, and that's why I gave it 4 stars. But, I mean, a short, fast-paced thriller. Read this. Read it. Then I read a book by an author that I have never read something from. I read a Penelope Douglas book. And the book that I started out with, you just saw it because I accidentally showed it, is Birthday Girl. I was disappointed, but I think it's my fault. Look, I have never read an age gap romance before, and this was my first one. And I just feel like age gap romances aren't for me. I don't like the age gap romances, okay? I think it's a me thing. It's not really like the author's fault. Like, Penelope, your writing was great. Like, I really liked the writing. I just didn't love the story because I'm just not an age gap romance lover, I guess. So we have Jordan, and she's dating this boy, and he's just like doesn't treat her right and all these things. And then she goes to the movies by herself and she meets this man called Pike. You know, they have a little flirting thing going on. And then she realizes that it's her boyfriend's dad. It's not a spoiler, it's on the back of the book. And then her and her boyfriend are still having issues, whatever, and they have to move in with Pike, his dad. And then there's forced proximity. I just don't love the trope of one. I guess I don't love age gap, which I just wanted to read one because I feel like you just have to read one to know if you like it or not, because what if you do and then you're missing out? I also don't love the trope of father taking son's girlfriend. I just don't. I don't love that. It's not for me. So yeah, I ended up giving this book 3 stars. And 3 stars to me is not like the worst. It's just like, it's just mid. It just didn't. At first I gave this 4 stars, and then looking back, I changed my mind and gave it the 3 stars because this, I barely remember. I just remember not really preferring it. It's just not for me. But if you like an age gap romance, you would probably like this because her writing is really easy to follow. It's just the age gap for me. So 3 stars. But my first Penelope Douglas book. And then I read one of the 5 stars that I have in this video. And this is controversial because people don't like the series, which I don't really quite understand why you don't like the series. Because it's like, it's not considered dark romance, I don't think, but it's like, it has aspects of dark romance. Just don't understand you people that don't like this series at all. I just don't. But I read Twisted Lies, and this book is amazing. I don't understand how you wouldn't like Christian Harper. I just don't see a world where you just don't like him. Is that saying something about me? I don't know. But I read this book and I gave this book 5 stars because it was so freaking good. When I first started the series, I was like, there's no way that I would like Stella's love story over Bridget's, because I loved Twisted Game so much. That's still a 5-star book for me. I don't care. I love that book. But after reading this, they are tied for me. They are both great. I love, my dogs are moving around now. I loved their story. I just recommend you read this book very much because it is so freaking good. She's social media famous. He's very rich and powerful, and he knows his way around security systems, and it's just, read it. 5 stars. And I know it's controversial, but the Twisted series is good. I'm gonna say it. Someone's gotta say it. I think the Twisted series is good. I don't know why people hate on it. And I can't wait to jump into her Kings of Wrath. Or is that the name of the book? She has a new series. I think the first book is King of Wrath, which I actually own. But I haven't started any of it, but I'm so excited because I love her books and I love her writing. So give her a chance. Don't listen to everybody else. Form your own opinions, people. I just had to stop recording for a little while, but we are back. I guess we are gonna just talk about the 5-star books back to back. This. If there's one book that you read, / one series that you read from this video, if you do not read A Court of Mist and Fury, you're missing out. Like, you're simply missing out. Let me explain. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses and was like, wow, this is good. Like, this is a solid 4.5-star book. Like, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And then I started reading A Court of Mist and Fury, and I was like, whoa. I understand that the size of this book is scary. I understand that committing to a series is also scary. But if there is one series that you commit to, please let it be this one. I am obsessed with these main characters. I don't want to give anything away, even though I'm pretty sure I'm late to the party. But the people that are in this book that have a romance, I am obsessed with their relationship dynamic. I am obsessed. I love him. He is probably my favorite book boyfriend ever. I never thought I would be a fantasy girl. And after A Court of Thorns and Roses, I was like, maybe I'm just a little bit of a fantasy girl. And then I read this one and I'm like, I think I am a fantasy girl. I think I am. I think I am. So this book is a 5 stars. But honestly, this is like a 6. This is a 6-star book. This is up there. I said this in my other video because I made a whole video about it. It's the one where I read the highest rated book on my Goodreads. You want to watch my whole reaction to this book? Just go watch that video, honestly. I have to say, this book is up there with Exodus, which is one of my 6-star favorite books ever. So I'm just saying, read it. Read A Court of Mist and Fury. You're welcome for this to be brought into your life. You're welcome. Read this book. Okay. I actually read Credence. So my Amazon package was here. But yes, I did in fact read Credence. Look, Callie from TikTok convinced me to read this book. Not personally, just like through her videos, she convinced me. So I did. So if you don't know what this book's about, it's about this girl and her parents end up dying. And she goes to live with her step uncle and step cousins. And things happen. I don't know. The only thing that saved this book for me was the ending. I have not much things to say about this book. It's kind of disturbing. It's a little weird. I'm not sure I recommend it, but I gave it 4 stars. That's all I have to say. I don't know if Penelope Douglas books are for me. I don't know. I've only read 2. Yeah. I read Credence. The next book I read was so cute. It was so cute. I read Icebreaker. It was literally so adorable. I read this on the beach with my friends on my batch trip. And I didn't finish it, but I started it on the beach trip. This book is about a figure skater and a hockey player, and they end up having this romance together, and he's so overprotective of her and always wants to help her. I will say it's definitely an adult romance, but it's just so fun and so cute, and I had a great time reading this book. It was so easy to read. Their relationship's adorable. They care so much about each other. It's just like a good book for like a good relationship. After reading like Credence and Birthday Girl and Twisted Lies and Twisted Hate, and then going into this was like more fun and not as crazy. So I had a great time reading this book. I highly recommend this book. Just remember, it is an adult romance book. So anyway, yeah, definitely gave this one 4.5, honestly. So I definitely just love the figure skater, ice hockey, fun romance going on in this book. It was just, I think this was one of my first sports romance books also, because I don't really read those, and it was definitely a good one. Love it. Just wasn't a 5-star, but had a great time. The last book that I read for this video is a book by Katie Robert. It's the second book in I think it's called the Dark Olympus series, but don't quote me on that. I think it's called that. So I read Electric Idol. And if you know anything about me, Neon Gods was amazing. I gave Neon Gods a 5 stars. I literally read that book so fast. I loved every second of that book. This one did not hit the mark for me personally. I love her writing. I love the Olympus, talking about everybody in the Olympus world. Like, I liked that. I liked the Greek mythology aspect of it. Something about this one was not it for me. I gave it 3 stars, which it was fine. Like, 3 stars for me is like, it was fine, it was good. But it wasn't like a wow factory. There was nothing wowing me. Just don't know. Because I love Neon Gods so much that I had such high expectations for this book. So maybe that was a me thing. Maybe like I'm the problem. It was still great. It was just, I felt like there could have been more action. Like, I feel like there could have been more. I don't know. But I gave this book 3 stars, and I just finished this one. So that wraps up all the books that I have read this past couple months. If you did want to know, I'm in the middle of 2 books. I'm in the middle of Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score, who I adore. And then I'm also in the middle of The Inheritance Games, so. But expect a wrap up for them, because I think I'm going to try to do a September wrap up instead of just like doing this and getting all my books together at one time and talking about them. I don't know. I'd rather do a monthly wrap up than do what I just did. Nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had such a fun reading couple months. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up because it helps my channel out. And subscribe if you want to. That'd be cool. We're over 500 subscribers now. Thank you very much for that. And I'm also filming a vlog today, so be on the lookout for that. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!